I'm Bill Pearce. I'm a professor of physiology at Loma Linda University. Oh, and this is Cosentino Iracola. He's also you're a professor of neurobiology and the head of the Brain Science Center, right? And
More or less.
Mind and Brain Center
Yeah.
at Cornell Weill Medical College. My mother was a professional musician, and my father was a professional scientist. So I was able to do gunpowder. My father helped me make gunpowder as a kid in first grade as a science project. It was obviously very supervised, but I thought it was wonderful. But at the same time, I had to start playing piano at the age of 4. So I always loved the piano, and I was always in band, but I also always loved science. So I'd say that the two developed together, and to me, they're very, very naturally interrelated. A lot of people here are studying the adult brain or development, and one of the really fundamental aspects of brain development is actually the circulatory system. It's really a simpler system, but it's really fundamental, and it also is a target of a lot of disease, basically any kind of a stroke or ischemia, even traumatic brain injury, even cerebral amyloid angiopathy, things like that. So I study the vascular system, but the vascular system in particular in the developing brain. And so it's unique, and it's a little bit different than in the adult brain, but that's my whole lab is devoted to the vascular biology of the developing brain. Cornu ammonis is the horn of Ammon, and it was the name of 3 different little collections of neurons in the hippocampus that are responsible primarily for memory. Okay, certain aspects of perception, but particularly memory, and they're very, very sensitive to ischemia. So that when they're lost, when those neurons are lost, people can forget many, many details about their life, their daily life, etc. And there are many, many cases in the neurobiology of the hippocampus where people had a selective injury to the hippocampus, and it's produced some very, very strange behaviors. People can't remember what they did yesterday, etc. So it is perfectly logical, because if that area degenerates, then everything goes to heck. So we decided to name ourselves after a region that's responsible for neurodegeneration. Joe and I had been at a meeting, and the meeting was going rather slowly, and in between the acts, Joe got up on the stage and played a Creedence Clearwater revival song, and everybody really liked that, and so we decided that we should maybe do music at the next meeting. This was an international conference, and so to make a long story short, we organized a bunch of instruments. We rented instruments. This was in Calgary, and that was in 2003, and we got actually quite a few people came from the banquet to the place where we were rehearsing, and so we actually then later got invited to be on the program, and we realized that there are a lot of people in science that love music. And so Joe had the brilliant idea of making a music social formal event. He was on the program committee for Neuroscience then, and the first actual music social was in 2005 in San Diego. What we try to do is get as many different varieties of music. We don't exclude anyone. We've had a lot of really wild acts, but we've had a lot of fun. And the main thing is that we've, over the years, built up a big family, and it's actually a lot of friendships have been made because of this.